What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling fantastic today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our lovely ruler here, the good old Moon. Sidebar, Cancer. With this whole hurricane thing going down there, I can see the full supermoon. I'm kind of upset about that. It's fine, but I'll talk about what sign she's in. She was there in spirit, Cancer. I know the energy was still coming through, but I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and I'm all good, Cancer. And what sign, phase, and when she's going void, of course, there, Cancer. Just all those lunar shenanigans. This happens when I go off script. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. And Cancer, happy Moon Day. It's Monday. The moon rules over Mondays. And Cancer, the moon is also going to be going void of course today. She's after being that full super moon phase. She's ready to take a rest. But with the void of course there, Cancer, the moon is going to be going void of course at about 2:05 in the afternoon, and that's going to be Central Time. Thank you. And she will be moving from, and she'll be moving from Taurus into Gemini on Tuesday the 5th at about 4:06 in the afternoon, or towards the evening. So we're looking at about a 26-hour and 1 minute void course time there, Cancer. And with the void of course, this is an energy of just kind of recharging your batteries, doing some meditation, just some deep breathing there, and just kind of just collecting yourself there, Cancer. Finding that oneness again. And then you may also notice too that your plans may be subject to unexpected changes during this time, and that people may be less likely to make decisions during this energy. So just something to pay attention to there, Cancer. And then also, the moon is going to be in Taurus, Cancer. And this is a very lovely placement for the moon because outside of our sign, the moon is exalted in Taurus. So, after our sign, the moon feels right at home in Taurus energy there. But, with this energy, you may notice that your senses are a little more heightened, Cancer, that you want to enjoy more kind of sensual things, whether this is like in a great time for self-care, whether it's taking like maybe a bubble bath or like an Epsom salt bath, or maybe lighting some incense there, Cancer, cooking yourself a nice home cooked meal, listen to some nice music, whatever that's looking like there, Cancer. Taurus is a sign of the senses, so enjoy that energy. But also good energy too, maybe if you got any sort of bills you need to get caught up, any sort of money matters you want to deal with, things along those lines. Taurus is great with their finances, so definitely work with that energy as well. But great energy too for just like building up your self-esteem and focus on just general security there, Cancer. But you may notice too though, Cancer, that you might be a little more like Taurus gets this bad rep of being stubborn. All the fixed signs can be stubborn, but it's more so that since they're the fixed earth sign, they can be a little more I'd say you might be just moving a little bit maybe slower than normal there, Cancer. So just something to kind of pay attention to there as well. But and then we are in the waning gibbous, or the disseminating moon phase. And with this energy, Cancer, this is about kind of like reflection. It's kind of like the calm after the storm. And one, I feel like it's really for like, really appreciating the fact that you did take this effort to start this, whatever change you wanted to do on this journey here. And two, to kind of evaluate just where you want to go to next, how this thing is really kind of incorporated in your life, how it has raised your vibration, and then maybe I don't know, Cancer. Just like it's really just kind of like just enjoying the transform like the transformation that is going down, or that has gone down. But sorry, I feel like Mercury retrograde is still kind of got my head all a little wonky right now. Energy's been feeling a little off. But last couple things here, Cancer. These readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below. So definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for some other leaders that I like watching, Cancer. So definitely check them out. Very cool energy that they bring. So, but let's get into your general energy today here, Cancer. Oh, interesting. All right, so you got the might be thinking might want to hit up the fam here, Cancer, because you got the fourth card of Leo's here, which is the family card. And with this card, this is a card of loyalty, faithful, allegiance, parents, children, siblings, fidelity, commitment, trust, affection, support systems, origins, tribe, dependable, sincere, and kindred spirits. Interesting, Cancer. And energy that's coming through here is the parents. And maybe for some of you, I feel like maybe we're thinking about becoming parents, Cancer. This, and I feel like that's and not to say that the other signs don't make really good parents there, Cancer. But I feel like with us being one of the parent signs along with Capricorn, I feel that there is this sort of like we're just kind of like, I feel like, inherently good with children, and two, Cancer, we're associated with the fourth house, which deals with the home space and things along those lines. And I know there are exceptions to every rule there, Cancer, depending on charts and experiences and things, but I feel like that if you've been wanting to, I don't know, take that love that you have, Cancer, maybe, like just create a new life and things along those lines, lovely energy for that. I feel like Venus just, granted, Venus just got out of retrograde, so it's like Venus is in Leo's, very passionate energy. So something to think about there, Cancer. But I'm almost even kind of feeling like for some others, maybe this is something that we maybe even kind of like struggled with, Cancer. Maybe we have like maybe been having sort of like troubles conceiving and things along those lines, and this been kind of like maybe kind of waning down on you there, Cancer. This might be something too to maybe consider maybe some alternative ways of becoming parent. Maybe this is through like adoption, or something along those lines there, Cancer. But I'm even kind of getting an energy too of just like that maybe for some it's just like either we've been wanting to either kind of either visit parents, or maybe just as, or maybe for some we might be even kind of reminiscing about some parents, or maybe even for some it's just like there might be even need to do some healing when it comes from parents. There's a lot that's kind of coming through here when we start thinking about that, when we start getting into like our parents and things along those lines, and it's not to say that we, like, it's just, let me get some tarot on this, Cancer. Let's see what's going on with that. Thank you. Okay, Cancer. Oh, a lot of swords here. So, Cancer, you have the Nine of Wands in reverse here, and then you have the Four of Swords, the Five of Swords, and then the Knight of Swords. And I feel like with the Nine of Wands kind of popping up in reverse here, it's like maybe for some, it's like, I almost feel like for some, if we are already parents, maybe we've been feeling this state of exhaustion, maybe here as of late. It's just like we've been, because I feel like that's a lot, when you're just like, trying to keep up with little ones and thinking about, I know like what school just started not too long ago. So it's just like, you got school things to think about, and, just the responsibility of the parents. I feel like that maybe sometimes it's just like that you're always pouring your energy towards them, and wanting their growth and things along those lines, but it's like we haven't maybe found a time to just kind of be with ourselves for a little bit, to just kind of unwind, relax, and things along like things like that. And I almost feel like for some there's there may even be this sort of like guilt or things because we feel that maybe other pain, or I don't know, it's like we feel that maybe I don't know. It's just like I don't know if it's like some if we're kind of wondering if people are kind of questioning even like our parenting styles or things along those lines. But hmm, and that might be something too. You know, it's just like maybe for some, it's just like we've been. I don't know. Maybe people have been, yeah, just like putting a lot of opinions on our parenting styles, or they everyone has like a view of how you should do things, Cancer. But hmm, and I'm also even kind of getting for some others. It's like they may be questioning this style, maybe or I think maybe have some opinions, and this might be maybe your parents or might be questioning your parents' style, their Cancer, just because like maybe for some it's just like we might just be on the move all the time. It's like we're trying to. And this might even be even for some there might even be this like may even be like a even like a single family type of home here where it's just like we have to drop the kids off, we have to do all this stuff, got to work, do all those things, and it's just like trying to get all this sense of balance here, but we're just like we're running on fumes even. And it's like maybe for some it's just like if it's possible, because I feel that it's that can be a lot, and I feel that there's if we can find a ways to take a break, maybe this is like maybe asking like a family member to kind of watch the kid while you go off and just relax for a little bit, Cancer, and just kind of like just kind of let me get a little bit more with this Knight of Swords here, Cancer. Hmm. Thank you. All right, Cancer. So the Knight of Swords is clarified by the Emperor, the Hanged Man, upright, and then you have the Nine of Moons in reverse. And in this deck, Cancer, the moons are cups, and then the stars are pentacles. But I feel like that for some, it's just like the energy's kind of waning here with the Nine of Moons. It's just like we've been just sort of like not even just like physically drained, but maybe even emotionally drained. But it's like one of those things that it's just like, well, despite that, it's just like we always got to be on all the time here, and it's I don't know. I don't feel like that is necessarily with the Hanged Man, because this the Hangman can be a card of sacrifice. And it's not that I feel like that we're sacrificing, that's not what we're feeling, Cancer. But I do feel like that we are, and it maybe that is something that we feel, Cancer. But I feel like that is a very human thing to think. He's just like that is a lot of responsibility when you're trying to guide. I feel like trying to guide a child and to to kind of help raise them up or something along those lines. And even especially if I feel like if you're like a single parent having to take on both of the roles of that, it's a lot. And maybe for some it's just like we're like relying on like more like I almost feel like it's like maybe not necessarily like relying on the community, but something along those lines here, Cancer. But even on the flip side, it's there's so much that's coming through here, Cancer. Because I even feel like for some that they're like maybe even for some, if we're not thinking about being parents or things along those lines, maybe this is just like there's been this like this reflecting on how our parents maybe raised us. For example, maybe this was one where they were busy, had to be out, and he had to kind of rely on others to kind of help you out, or maybe we even had to be in this state of independence here, just like maybe like a latchkey kid or something like that, where it's just like we were just, just kind of responsible, kind of cooking our own meals and things along those lines. And I don't know, just even kind of thinking about maybe that sort of like affected your energy, Cancer. And I even feel like for some, it's just like maybe there's been, I don't know, it's just like we've been, I don't know, like a reflecting on a lot to think about there, Cancer. More. I hope that made sense. Yeah, that was a lot that's kind of coming through with their Cancer, and I do think that it is just whether this is if we're being parents or that if we're thinking about being our parents or make how maybe we were raised or things along those lines. It's where that can be tough, Cancer. I do feel like that it is remembering again that we're spiritual beings going through human experiences, and we're going to make mistakes along the way. Our parents are going to make mistakes along the way. And it's not necessarily to excuse that, but it is just remembering that. Because I feel like sometimes, the parents get this. And again, it's not to excuse any sort of if there was any sort of like abuse or just like there was this lack of love or anything along those lines. But it's just like it's just like it's a learning experience, and I feel like that I was just talking about with someone not too long ago, and I do feel like that the parenting styles are changing, and I hope so. We were saying that there's just like maybe these generations are being able to kind of deal with their traumas a lot faster as opposed to having to deal with this stuff kind of later in life, maybe as like previous generations have, and things along those lines there, Cancer. But yeah, a lot to think about there when you rise up with this Emperor card here and kind of take on that responsibility. And it's yeah. Let's get some more on this, Cancer. Interesting, Cancer. So you have the Page of Moons and the Page of Wands in reverse, and the Sun in reverse here, Cancer. And then you got the Temperance card. Oh, excuse me, Cancer. You got the Temperance card up right there. Ooh, that got me a little bit, Cancer. Because I feel like with this energy here, that I feel like for some that there may be this energy of this sort of like, because the pages are, youthful energy. And I feel like for some, it's like we may be trying to, if we haven't been feeling maybe kind of, I don't know if feel I almost feel like if we've been just kind of been feeling out of balance as of late, or I might need to get a little bit more on this temperance, but I don't know. I feel like that for some, it's just like that maybe that happiness has maybe been elusive, or maybe there's something here that maybe we've been. I don't know. It's like we've been sort of like maybe reflecting on some things, how we operate maybe as how we operate as adults, and what that how because even the sun is associated with the fifth house, which can deal with children and things. And maybe there was this lack of happiness maybe growing up, or not maybe not having our feelings being heard, or not feeling that we can pursue the things that we want to do, or maybe even having to grow up a lot faster than we wanted to with the emperor being here. And it may be for some, it's just like if we are becoming parents, or or are currently parents, maybe dealing with little ones, it's just like maybe there's that fear of repeating even like a cycle, or maybe there's I don't know. It's like we're trying to find this balance maybe with the temperance. It's like, maybe we didn't get the fun that we had growing up. So it's like we're trying to give that to our little one. But it does feel like that we do want to make sure that, like, again, there's this balance of, still maintaining that authority figure, but still bringing that sense of sunshine and things along those lines. But let me get a little bit. Maybe a little bit more on the Temperance. All right, Cancer. So you have the Two of Wands and the Five of Moons in reverse here, and then we have the Queen of Stars and then the Death card upright. And I do feel like maybe for some it's just like we're trying to maybe change how, because maybe for some it felt like that with just with this clarifying the Temperance, it's just like maybe we felt like we didn't have the resources growing up. You know, maybe we grew up in a this could have been like maybe we didn't get the tools that we needed possibly, or maybe there was this sense of like maybe we grew up in an energy of like maybe we were, I almost am getting this is just like this energy of just like disappointment here or something along those lines with the Five of Moons, and even kind of getting a sense of just like of poverty or something even along those lines. Or but I feel like that with the Death card being here, there is something that is trying to change, you know, that whether this be something that we're personally working on, or maybe even like our parenting styles, just like we don't want to repeat the same type of energies that maybe we had gone through growing up. And another Cancer, it just feels like that maybe for some, this just like it just like it may kind of bring up a lot of kind of maybe some old wounds here or something along those lines. I feel well, let me get something with the Sun here, Cancer. So the Sun is clarified by the Ace of Stars in reverse, and it just feels like that maybe it's like we don't want to miss out on this opportunity to either bring happiness to our current parenting style, or maybe we're trying to find ways to kind of heal from this stuff so that we can, I don't know, like it's a lot that's coming through here, Cancer way. I mean, it really is just kind of all over the place. And maybe for some too, I'm even kind of feeling that maybe there's this, it's like we may want to become, maybe we want to become this parents or try to do this thing, but with the Two of Wands being in reverse, I feel like with these two, it's like, because that's interesting. The Two of Wands is Mars and in Aries, and then the Five of Moons is Mars and Scorpio. You got Mars, or um, you got Aries and Scorpio here, and it's just like I feel like we're just like maybe we're afraid that we can't bring those like same opportunities or happiness here. I hope that this is making sense, Cancer. All right, let's because I get that, Cancer. You know, we all have and it's not to say that everyone's had like a real kind of, you know, tough childhood or anything along those lines, but you know, there's parenting is tricky. You know, I feel, you know, on the being one and being raised by some, you know, or one or none, you know, even let's get some advice from Venus, Cancer. All right, Cancer. Let's see what's going on here. Fascinating, Cancer. So you have the Judgment card and the Nine of Swords in reverse, and then you have the Tower and the Ace of Moons up right here, Cancer. And let's switch back over here, Cancer. Because that's really fascinating, because I do feel like that for some, it's like there is this wanting to kind of change things, you know, like maybe it's like, for some I just feel like there's like all this love that maybe you want to give, but it's just like how do we break this, maybe break a cycle or something along those lines, because you got you got Mars here, the Tower, and then you got Judgment card here, Pluto. Mars rules over both Aries and Scorpio, like I was saying, and then Pluto rules over Scorpio. And so there's this. And I almost feel like maybe even for some, this kind of, maybe this parent thing just kind of was like a recent thing that just sort of happened, you know, with the Tower. It's like I'm almost getting like a shock type of energy that's coming through here, and we got a lot that we're thinking about with the Nine of Swords, and you know, just trying to figure out what that next step kind of looks like with the Judgment card being in reverse here. And I just feel like that maybe we're trying to if we're trying, like, I feel like if we're becoming parents, Cancer, excuse me, I feel like that it is remembering that I mean, Cancerians are just, we're natural nurturers, and we do have so much love to give. And I do feel like that is remembering that, Cancer, you know, where there are a lot that things that come through with parenting styles, and you know, just with the Five of Swords, everyone has their opinions about how they can go about things, but I feel like you intuitively know how to go about that, Cancer, you know. And you know, this thing, you know, and life is going to change, you know, a lot. And it's going to be, but I feel like it's going to be one of those that is like, despite that, it's going to be such a fulfilling experience, I do feel like, for some, if we are, you know, becoming parents or something along those lines. But I do kind of feel like for some others that there's this need, there's this energy of wanting to, of like trying to heal from maybe something that happened, you know, maybe the towers that may have happened growing up and things along those lines, Cancer. The more sort of like and I do feel like, in where this may be hard, Cancer, Cancer, but there may be this need to, just with the Ace of Moons, in order to get to that completion from the Judgment to the world, there is this need to exercise this energy of forgiveness. And it's not to excuse again what they've done, but it's just to, so that you can start to let go and start to heal. And I don't know, start to just like, because I feel like the Ace of Moons and the Ace of Pentacles, they're like new opportunities to just kind of really take that love, Cancer, and just kind of water this garden, you know, and just all right, Cancer. I think I'm gonna leave that there, because that's, we could talk about, we could talk a lot about this, Cancer. But if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and share this, Cancer. You know, if we got new parents coming up, or you know, just been feeling a little run down, or been feeling a lot, Cancer, you know, share this. And then if you haven't already, hit that subscribe, hit that bell button, get notified when I release videos each day. And then lastly, you know, check your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus sign. Your chart can tell you a lot about how to heal, you know, to Cancer. Can learn a lot from that. And then come on over to my other channel, Alchemist State. I do videos. I do weekly videos, monthly ones, yearly ones. It's a good old time, Cancer. And all the housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get you surprise cards here. So I can get you out of here, Cancer. Because you got the Fool card in reverse here. And, you know, I feel like for some with this Fool, it's like maybe, it's just like maybe we're, for some, I almost feel like that it's like we're afraid to maybe take that leap. Maybe we want something that we want, but we're not sure if we're able to bring that happiness, or like, are we going to be able to, are we going to mess up, or are we going to do these things? And I feel like, yeah, Cancer, you're going to make mistakes. I feel like we all make mistakes, but I do feel like that it's not just expecting to make mistakes. It's just like how you're going to learn from them as well, and how you can grow, I feel like, together. But and it almost, I'm almost kind of feeling with this full energy too. It's just like that. Maybe for some, it's just like we're not sure how to move on from, like, maybe from like an experience from the past, possibly maybe some, like, some traumas or things along those lines that may have happened, and we're not sure like what that, how to start new from that. It's just like it's their little triggers or things that tend to kind of, we start to move forward, and then we just like bam, tower moment, and then it just like kind of comes back and kind of keeps us in this place here, because it's like you got the Judgment and you got the Fool, but we're missing Saturn, the world, the completion. And I feel like that it's just like, and again, maybe that's where that comes, where I was talking about that forgiveness, maybe, or something along those lines, Cancer. But let me get your oracle card here so I can get you out of here, Cancer. All right, Cancer, get two cards. Get two cards today. I love it. Whew, Cancer. All right, so we have the, you have the, and I like that, Cancer. So one, you got another little tower moment here, because you got the Hergon Sacha card here, was the Transfiguration card, which is ruled by Mars and Pluto, and both Mars and Pluto are here, Cancer. And then you got the 52nd card, which is the Lemon Balm, which is the Nurture card in reverse. And this is ruled by, oh, I want to say that's Ceres, the asteroid, and then Jupiter. And I do feel like for some that there is just more so on the healing aspect. I do feel like that there's a side of us that does need to be kind of nurtured there, Cancer, that might need some healing, possibly, in order for you to be able to move on and to change and to, but I also kind of feel that there's this energy here of that maybe some of us are doubting if we're going to be good nurturers, good parents, and things along those lines, Cancer. And I feel like the fact that you're thinking that, your head's already in the right place, because it's just like I, I just feel like it's just like, being there, that expecting that life is going to throw you curveballs, when you're going through, when you're raising someone, because it's like, they're trying to find, you're trying to guide them and all these things. And but it's just like, I feel that as long as you come with that energy of love and understanding, and it's and it's hard to speak on that too, not being a parent, but it's just like, we've all know what we've wanted from our parents, and the things that where they really brought it, and the times when they really didn't. And it's just like, it's, we're it's all a learning experience, Cancer. But I feel like that, don't let that fear of failure keep you from, pouring in all that love, because I love the Ace of Moons, because you are a bottomless well of love, Cancer. You have so much to give, and don't forget that. But all right, Cancer, I am gonna leave that there. So you stay safe out there. Raising little ones and all that stuff, and healing from old things, and keep eyes on the moon. She's we're in a reflective time there, Cancer, on the reflective end of the phases. And just keep eyes on the moon. She's got just great healing energy there, Cancer. That always kind of feels nice to know that the moon's got your back. And yeah, and I will catch you on the next one tomorrow.